Good morning from Uiseong, Korea. Well, it's semi-final Friday here at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships 2016. I'm Hans Frauenlob, and I'm joined this morning by World Mixed Curling Champion Sander Rolvag. Good morning, Sander.
Good morning.
Well, we've got a great one for you. First up, the women's semi-final featuring New Zealand versus the home team from Korea. So let's meet the teams, starting with Team New Zealand. At lead this morning is Holly Thompson. Emma Sutherland is at second stone. Tivia Jarajan's at third, and Chelsea Farley skips Team New Zealand. Their coach is Elizabeth Matthews.
And the lineup for Team Korea. At lead we have Kim Young-mi. At second is Kim Son-young. At third and vice skip we have Kim Kyung-ae. And the team is skipped by Kim On-jung. At alternate we have Kim Cho-hee, and the team is coached by Kim Min-jung.
So let's have a look now at how these teams got here. These are the final standings of the round robin. We can see that Korea was top ranked, level with China and Japan at 6-1 records. New Zealand was on 4-3. Australia, Hong Kong, Kazakhstan, and first-timers Qatar rounded out the field. But we started with 8, and now we're down to 4. And let's have a look now at the final 4. We're using the Olympic playoff format, so it's the first ranked versus the fourth ranked in this semi-final. Korea versus New Zealand. China will face Japan in the other semi-final later today. The winners advance to the gold medal match, and the losers of the semis will play for the bronze. So now we move inside here at the Uiseong Curling Center. Just one sheet of action going here, of course, this semi-final. Korea, top ranked, will have last rock in the first end. And to use an overused sporting cliche, Sander, on paper you would say that Korea would be the heavy favorites, but the game isn't played on paper.
That's true. No, definitely Korea the biggest favorites coming into the game, but New Zealand, there's a reason why they're in the playoffs. They won some games, they played some good curling, and if they can play their very best game today, I'm sure they'll put up a fight.
I'm sure we'll see lots of rocks in play. Both teams really like to mix it up, so getting us underway, here's... Just over the hog line, so that one stays in play. Stone must completely cross that red hog line to be eligible to be in play. Kim Young-mi, Korea's lead player. Team Kim hails from right here in Uiseong, so definite hometown favorites here. This is their home curling club. Comes to rest in the top 4 foot. And there we talked about the aggressive play, so half a stone available, but Chelsea Farley and the New Zealanders, they're not going to try to remove it. They're going to try and freeze down to it, so straight onto the attack here for the Kiwis.
Yeah, I think you'll see most teams maybe just play the hit here, knowing that that guard was just too long. But yeah, I don't mind seeing a few stones in play in the first end.
Yeah, that says to me that the New Zealanders know that Korea is maybe, if you're using the handicapping form, the favorite team, but they're going to throw down the gauntlet, and they're not going to die wondering. Pushes it back. Nice stone there from Holly.
Yeah, definitely two tactics when you're playing a really strong team. Either you try and clutter up the houses as much as you can and hope that you get a chance to score big in one end, or you just play really defensive, try and keep it as tight as possible. But we definitely think that Korea, just player by player, shot by shot, they'll make more shots. So for New Zealand, maybe putting lots of stones in play and getting the key shots right might be well, the key to the game.
So that goes past the New Zealand stone and now sliding into the back of the 8 foot. So the pressure tactic at first blush working for the New Zealanders. Korea lies one, but that red New Zealand stone right in front of it will be, I'm sure, a factor later in the end. Here's Emma Sutherland. For Emma and Holly, the New Zealand front end players, this is their first time representing New Zealand at this level. This one is also tracking out there and sliding deep and perhaps through the rings, so maybe a bit of an adrenaline rush there for Emma. This ice is very fast. If you were with us last evening for New Zealand versus China, that the ice was super quick. The players were remarking that it felt like playing on glass. So fantastic ice conditions here all week. Here's Korean second player Kim Sun-young. She's being asked to remove that center guard.
That's a very cautious approach by Korea. So maybe not wanting to get too sucked into the aggressive play of New Zealand.
So here are the rules of play for today's game. Teams will play a minimum of 8 ends. The game is scheduled for 10. Each team has 38 minutes of thinking time to play all their shots. If they don't finish in those 38 minutes, they lose the game if they run out of time. And each team does have one 60-second timeout where they can consult with their coach. Ooh, little trip there from Tiv. Stays out of the way of the stone, though. If she would have touched that rock, it would have had to come out of play.
Sort of typical that when you finally do fall over, it's on TV.
So a bit of pain there, but Tivy is a doctor by profession, so she can self-medicate if necessary. There's Kim Sun-young. Going to try to remove at least one of these Kiwi stones. They're really sweeping it for line. There's one and two. Double takeout. Great shot there from Kim Sun-young. And all of a sudden, Korea is in business in a big way, lying 3. There we see perfect contact. Just held the line with the sweeping, sending both the Kiwi stones out of the rings. And now Korea with last rock here in the first. A real threat for a multiple point end, I think, Sander.
Yeah, New Zealand's going to have to pull off a few doubles here.
So here's Tivia Jararanjan trying to do exactly that. Wants to get rid of at least one of these Korean stones and hopefully more. Thompson Sutherland trying to hold it with the brushes. Kills one. Rolls to the right side as we're looking at it from our overhead. Would have preferred to stay at least in front of those Korean stones.
Does open up the easier double on the back to the rock stone.
That's right, and that shot stone is behind the tee line as well, so if they got really aggressive, they could try to freeze that. But I think you're right. At this early stage, they'd probably eliminate. Here's Kim Kyung-ae. Hit inside roll into a pretty good spot, so a bit of separation there. So now a bit of a decision for the New Zealanders. Chelsea Farley setting the target for Tivy Jararanjan. Just confirming the weight that they want to throw. And play control takeout weight. Intently watching the path as it's going down the ice. They've got one. Have they got more than one? Oh, sort of in between there. Couldn't quite decide whether to sweep it for the outside double or leave it to curl for an inside roll across. Got a tiny inside roll.
It's very quiet today.
Yeah, it's very different out there when you're used to having 4 sheets of play roaring all the time, and then when you get to the playoffs and you're the only team out there, it does certainly change the atmosphere.
Yeah, that's really when you know we're in the final stages of the tournament.
That's exactly right. Nose hit safely past her own, so Korea again lying 3. They've got the hammer here in the first and building up a good end here. So 2 stones to come for each team now. So Chelsea Farley makes her way down to the home end to throw the takeout. We heard her say just off nose. Control weight, just going to try to hit on the brush side of that stone at the top of the house. And in so doing, got a couple of ways that she can make doubles. She could remove 2 stones. So here's New Zealand skip Chelsea Farley. On and off, so they must be close to something. On the outside, down weight though. Will it be enough to push it out of the rings? Oh no. Leaves 3 Korean stones in the rings, and I agree. We heard the comment, should have played normal. When you're trying to move more than 2 stones, probably better to play slightly more weight on that, don't you think, Sander?
Yeah, definitely the safer option. You have a bigger margin too, playing the upweight.
So the Kiwis move the stones out of the 8-foot, but 3 stones in the rings here for Korea, and real danger here for the New Zealanders. So here is Korean skip Kim Eun-jung. She's going to just try to draw a 4th stone into the rings on the side of the sheet. Three sweepers on it now. They want to bring it all the way back to the tee line. We've seen this Korean team this week. Very professional attitude. They work to get the maximum of every shot, and they lie 4. Well, we remarked how the New Zealanders were choosing the aggressive option here in this game, and we can see from the broom placement, it's to use a poker analogy, they're kind of all in here, rather than try to remove 2 of the stones, which would leave Korea a shot for 3 anyways. Looks to me like Chelsea Farley is going to try and draw in front of those stones in the back of the house.
Yeah, this better be perfect, or they're in big trouble. You ever just tap the stone in the back, the 8-foot back, just half a foot, and try and set up a pocket? Very much how Lou Ray did against New Zealand in the second end yesterday for the ones following that game. This one's hanging out there.
We have seen big curls, though, when the stones come down in the weight and finish, so they will curl hard at the end. They're close.
Very close.
That is a pretty good shot there by Chelsea Farley. Would have been nice if it bumped that stone a little bit further back to create a better pocket, but for a first up go when you're facing 4 and your team's in a bit of distress, that's a pretty good attempt.
Yeah, you almost should have swept that one a little bit.
Yeah, they could have pushed that back maybe another 4 or 5 inches to create a better catcher, but now the way these stones are staggered, Kim Eun-jung can hit that one right on the nose and score 4. I think she would save her back stone, Sander, if she hits on the nose.
If she's ever here on the center line side, though, she might take it out, but it will be a score of 3.
Yeah, and if she's even a bit wider, she could roll her own out, and it might just be 2. So great opportunity here for Team Korea here in the opening end. Final stone on its way for Korea's Kim Eun-jung. Chance to cash in a big one here in the first end. There's one, but no, they all go spilling out, so that was one of the angles that we talked about. Hits it on the high side, and instead of scoring 4, it's only a 2. So, boy, oh boy, talk about dodging a massive bullet for Team New Zealand. They could have dropped 3 or 4, but instead, Korea only gets 2. Normally, you're pretty happy to score 2 in the first with the hammer, but I think the Koreans will be disappointed in that. So after one end of play, Korea 2, New Zealand with the hammer in the second. New Zealand with the hammer now in the second end. So you'd have to say, all things considered, Sander, even though they massively dodged the bullet, the aggressive shot choice by Chelsea Farley to freeze the stone in the back in the first end really paid off for them.
Yeah, it was a good shot by Chelsea Farley. Definitely first issue of Eun-jung Kim to make a good shot, and she just slipped up just a wee bit. A slight miscue and only score of 2. New Zealand is alive and well.
Mid-afternoon in New Zealand. It's late morning here in Uiseong. Holly Thompson being asked to play a corner guard.
It'll be interesting to see how aggressive New Zealand will choose to play with the last on advantage here, and how defensive Korea will be without the hammer with a 2-point lead.
Well, New Zealand right away throwing up the corner guard, so they're saying in for a penny, in for a pound. It's going to be all out offensive pressure, whether they've got the hammer or not by the looks of it.
Well, it's a perfect spot for the corner guard.
Yeah, it was a really good one by Holly Thompson.
It's also a nice draw by Kim Young-mi, and looking just to place the tight guard. Try to get these yellow stones online. This one not going to quite curl to the center line. Will expose the yellow shot stone on the corner guard side, which means New Zealand could play a little hit and roll. But staying aggressive, they're going to just draw around the corner. Obviously a lot easier to place a stone behind the corner by drawing than playing the hit and roll. And if you ever hit and roll out, you might see Korea just peel the corner, and there's not much to work with. So seems like New Zealand's plans to stay aggressive, at least for the front end stones, and then maybe bail out with the back end stones if it's getting too messy.
Well, I have to say, I really do like this game approach from the Kiwis. It is high risk, but as they would say in New Zealand, full credit to them, they're going for it. That one, great weight, and didn't quite curl enough to hide behind the guard, though, so it is available for the Koreans to throw down weight, take out weight, and try to remove it. Here's Kim Sun-young. We've mentioned through the week this Korean team have got English nicknames for each other, and Sun-young's known as Sunny, and it's a nice sunny morning here in Uiseong. On the nose, and Korea's line 2.
Now it sets up for a very natural double here on the yellows on the top of the house.
Emma Sutherland being asked to try the double takeout. Jarajan Thompson on the brushes, trying to hold the line. There's one, a little bit of an inside roll, so no double takeout there. Don't think they quite got overlap on that second stone. There's Emma Sutherland. There we see from the overhead, New Zealand is second shot. Sunny Kim with another shot here at the takeout. This one's really curling. Got contact, rolling across, pops out the other side of the guard, but I think Uiseong Kim will be pretty happy with that. Uiseong is trying to get some separation, and now Chelsea Farley is saying, okay, that guard is a bit of a hassle, so asking for it to be removed. Emma Sutherland, she could hit half of it, Sander, and maybe pick off the second shot and leave herself another corner guard.
I was a little surprised though that you can see the shot stone, see almost half of the shot stone you could come after with a bumper weight and play the hit and roll towards the corner, and with that second yellow shot being almost in the 12th foot, I think you might even get the shot stone behind the corner.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, having set the guards, there was an opportunity to use them, but Farley is electing to try and keep it a bit more open for herself.
Might just be running a bit scared after that first end.
Well, I'm sure when she climbed into the hack looking at 4 and having to throw a freeze, she's probably thinking to herself, don't really want to be doing that all day. Usually you kind of like to ease yourself into a curling match. That was the equivalent of running onto a treadmill that's going at full throttle. That one comes to rest, covers the stone in the top of the 8 foot.
Well, this time you can see even more of the shot stone, and the call is the hit and roll.
Yep, so we can see about 2/3 there. Great view from the hack end for Tiv Jarajan. Sutherland Thompson trying to hold the line. I think that's going to be on the guard, however. Just clips it. So Korea again lying too. I imagine they'll try to replace their guard. New Zealand has never qualified for a Women's World Curling Championship, so this is a big opportunity for the Kiwis. If they could pull the upset here and make it to the final, they would have a great opportunity to qualify for their first ever Women's Worlds. Kiwi men have been to the World Championships on 5 occasions, but the women have never made it. That one covers that shot stone much better, so nice stone there by Kim Kyung-ae, fully covered. So the play here will be to remove the center guard and hopefully kill one of those Korean stones behind it as well.
Yeah, playing the other turn this time though, Hans, so not slashing it towards the second shot. Was the call to run it down to the shot stone?
I thought so. I thought it was relatively the straight run back and just exposing the center line a little bit. So just needed to curl a bit more to make that. She does remove the guard and opens up the shots. I agree, Sander. I think the out turn would have given them a couple of options if it was wide. New Zealand does have the hammer here on the second. Korea's leading it 2-0. opportunity here for the Kiwis to get on the board and close it up. Kim Eun-jung.
계속 가. 그냥 와, 계속 와. 영미. 일단 라인. 영미 계속 가야 돼. 계속 가줘. 넘기면 업해야 돼.
Long guard.
가야 돼.
I think that's going to leave Chelsea Farley access to the shot rock. That's a very long guard. There we get a look at it. We can see she can see at least half of it on the outturn side. I think you have to play it, although we see Devjarajan lining up on the second shot rock, so perhaps they're going to try a hit and roll behind that stone.
hit and roll.
Yep, Chelsea Farley confirming that the target rock is actually the stone to the left of the brush. They're going to try and hit that, hit about half, and roll into the red 4-foot. Only problem with that is it's a pretty straightforward angle raise for the Koreans to eliminate it.
Yeah, I think you almost have to overroll this one and
Yep.
peekle out on the center line side of it to make that angle a little less natural for Korea.
Thompson, Sutherland trying to hold it. They're past the guard, looking for an inside roll, but pretty much on the nose there. So one Korean stone eliminated.
이거는 이렇게 맞고.
Okay, I need to up my weight. Sorry, I need to up my weight.
Chelsea thinking she needs to throw it a bit harder to hold the line, but I don't think there was anything wrong with the weight on that shot. They needed to control the roll as well. But as we've been seeing all week, with down weight, the stones really curl.
Kim Eun-jung might be looking to make the roll herself here. Get underneath the second shot into the 4-foot and close the scoring area for Chelsea Farley. Got more weight than Farley for this one.
Yeah, much wider track. Is it going to stick around?
Nope.
So we just see that difference in the weight and a little slightly different line. A very different result. There we see it gets contact, trying to roll into that red 4-foot area, but hits it thin and goes right through the house. So little break there for Team New Zealand. And are they electing to draw? Not even looking at trying to throw the out-turn pick and go for a blank.
Yeah, I'd prefer trying to blank it here. Even if you end up over curling, you might stick around for the single that way. Her draw weight was good in the first end, though.
Yeah, it sure was. She made a very nice freeze to get the New Zealanders out of a jam. See the brush just at the lower right of our screen. That's the target. So she's having to go quite a wide line to get into the 4-foot around that stone in the top 4. So final rock on its way here on end number 2 for Chelsea Farley. New Zealand trying to draw the stone into that red 4-foot circle to count a single point. It's in the hands of Sutherland and Thompson. Looks like it's got plenty of weight. It's all about the line now. They don't want to oversweep it. Got to get it by that yellow one, though. Oh, nice job there by the Kiwi front end sweepers, and it's a very nice shot there from Chelsea Farley. Tough draw around that pile, but they got it there. Smiles all around for Team New Zealand. Nice draw there by the Kiwi women. They score a point. After 2 ends of play, it's Korea 2, New Zealand 1. So Holly Thompson gets it underway for us here on the third end. That'll be a confidence builder, won't it, Sander, for the New Zealand women? I know the Korean team is more highly fancied, but that was a real team shot there on that final draw. Sutherland and Thompson sweeping it coast to coast to hold the line and just getting it past that stone in the forefoot. So a big end for the Kiwis.
It's all about just hanging in there and
약간 위 좋아.
making good use of your chances. You'll see Korea now going after a score of 2, putting up the corner. They'll probably look to get a bigger lead before they start putting on the defensive gears.
Kim Young-mi, the
웨이트만.
Korean lead.
선율이가 와줘.
Talked about
선율이가 와야 돼.
the nicknames.
와야 돼.
Young-mi's nickname is Pancake.
좀만 더.
Sander and I have pretty much declared that our favorite nickname of the whole field this week. Nice corner guard there. Here's Holly Thompson. Holly from the Central Otago area of New Zealand, the Maniatoto, as is Emma. And we know from the correspondence that we're getting from the land of the long white cloud that there are a lot of people in the Maniatoto cheering for their native daughters this week. So glad you're joining us.
Yeah, nice, Holly. Good sweep.
Good guard weight there. Half covers the shot. There we said get a good look at it. About a third of the rock covered. And we've seen Eun-jung kind of measure the width of the shot with her brush. She uses that as a guide for herself, I think, Sander.
Yeah, as a guide and maybe just a habit as well. Definitely saw her do the same thing 2 years ago at the Pacifics.
Oh, just by the guard, well swept. And Korea lies 1, right at the top of the 12. Big smile there from Young-mi, thanking her teammates for a nice job on the brushes. Here's Emma Sutherland. They're going to flirt with the guard as well, and they do wreck on it.
Shot, Emma. Was it my line? I think you might have redirected it a bit on there, Elise.
Emma just looking for a little feedback there, and Chelsea
아니면 이것도 있긴 한데.
just might have redirected on the release a little bit.
그냥
It's good to get that feedback, Sander, isn't it, from your skip? You know, get some validation about what's actually happened, because whenever you miss a shot, you're always a little doubtful about what actually happened. So it's good to know, you know, some good, honest feedback about what actually happened.
Yeah, and honest, that's the key word. You have to be honest. The skip needs to be honest and should be able to tell the players that, you know, I gave you too much ice or not enough. And if that's not the case, if it was a bad throw, you know, you can say that too. Just don't cover it up or don't lie about it. So it's first step to a team is for everyone to be honest about each other's mistakes.
좀만 더 내려와줘. 좀만 더 내려와.
So Korea coming wide around the outside of that corner guard, and they sit 2. Sun Young Kim with good draw weight there. There we can see it's half buried.
Control.
So Emma Sutherland now with a chance to kill 1 Korean stone, and if she gets a good angle, maybe make a double. There's one as she got the pair. Chelsea Farley now sweeping it out of the rings, and that is a beauty. Great shot there from Emma Sutherland. Hangs around as well, so makes up for wrecking the guard on that second stone, Sander. Nice double takeout here. Chelsea Farley sweeps that stone back out of the rings. New Zealand lies 1.
Yeah, if you miss your first one and follow up with a double, it's all good.
Sun Young Kim
나갈 수도 있어.
again choosing the wide path around the outside of the corner guard. Well clear of it. And it's going to slide deep into the rings.
I think we've seen a slight tendency to there being more curl coming in towards the center than coming from the center line and out.
I agree. We saw that last night in China versus New Zealand. They were having a difficult time getting around corner guards inside out, as you said, Sanders. So you're right. I think the teams are electing to put up the corner guard and then come around the outside of it as a better way to bury.
We haven't seen it too much, I think, this week, but it's a good approach.
Yep. So here's Divya Jararanjan.
Watch line, Charles.
Good looking weight. They're well past the guard. Trying to come down on top of that Korean stone. Oh, nice weight there by Div. And New Zealand lies one. Almost a perfect freeze. And we can see that Korea is going now to elect to follow that one down. So Korean third player Kim Kyung-ae. Just to round out the nicknames for Team Korea. Kyung-ae is known as
Steak.
Steak. Sweepers are really working this one. They want to get it down on top of the Kiwi stone, but I think it's going to come to rest probably top four. Well, good sweeping, just enough to get it shot. So Korea lies one.
What? Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Sweet. Gonna play control weight. Going to just try to get across the nose of this one and get a little inside roll. If Div can make this one, be a great chance for the Kiwis to set up for a force and maybe a steal. Trying to hold the line. Oh, good looking shot. Maybe even overswept. Could have curled a fraction more for the inside roll.
Yeah, but angle's still looking good for New Zealand.
There we see it. Great sweeping by the front end and pushes it past her own stone. So New Zealand's lying two. Fourth shot up there in the top left. So
It's a pretty tough double to make for Korea without catching their own back yellow. I think it's just possible though.
So Korea will make a pass at this stone, trying to remove it. There is the risk of a jam at that stone in the back. Great shot there. You can see those angles. Red stone right in front of the yellow one when it's coming in from that angle.
He's going to hit the first red and just clip the back one.
Now they're waiting for this one to curl. She's got a piece.
Oh, that's very close.
She actually clipped her own shot going past at the back, so pushes it. Something happened at a camera shot that made the team smile. Look at that, just feathers the Yellowstone and pushes it further behind the Kiwi rock. So from New Zealand's perspective, that helps them out a little bit. And that's what they were laughing at. Look where that stone rolled. It actually rolled behind that red cornerstone. A little bonus there for Team Korea, but New Zealand is still lying one, so they're going to try to use that guard. But those yellow Korean stones are accumulating, so Chelsea Farley will need to be a bit careful here. Doesn't want to leave a double, and Korea might get three. Just trying to tuck around that guard, I think, Sander. Here's Chelsea Farley.
Where is it? Top eight. Okay. Go ahead, guys. Just need it top eight. Really hard. Really hard, guys.
Good looking line. Well by the guard. They need a piece of the 8 foot though. And they come off it now, so just a wee bit light.
better there than heavy. That was my thoughts. I should have just trusted myself.
That's fine. It was close. It was real close.
Yeah.
And that's good plan B.
Yeah, that's good plan B.
We're talking about plan B there,
Yeah.
so.
You always draw better.
Yeah.
You got your draw away.
I got my draw weight.
Yeah.
Okay. Chelsea Farley's
Nice.
happy that she's got draw weight, so they're saying if they come around that she'd be happy enough to try the intern draw and followed in.
저 뒤로 돌렸다가 앞에 서버리면 쓸 수도 없고 좀 애매하지 않나?
And they're talking about plan B. That's their second option for the shot. So they wanted it in the 8-foot, but covering the path to the shot rock was the second option for them.
Yeah, it'd probably be hard for Korea to bring those yellow stones into play for this end.
1번? 1? 01? 그냥 1? 05는 세?
Just confirming the weight that they want to throw. Kim Eun-jung. Korean skip with her first stone here in end number 3. Each player plays 2 shots, of course.
영미! 영미 가야 돼!
I think they're worried about the line. Have to get by that one that was just thrown by the New Zealanders. Oh, great brushing. They get it by, but it is short. So New Zealand still lying 1, but a bit of danger here for the Kiwis. There are 3 Korean stones in the house now. So decision time for the New Zealanders. Let's listen.
Behind the guard, because if I get past the guard, I'm getting behind the guard, for sure.
Yep. Track it here.
Yeah. Give me heaps of ice.
How much did yours kill going the other way?
Killed like more than the 12-foot, so I reckon a little bit more even. Yeah.
Do I want to hang out too wide, bro?
Actually, yeah, that should be good.
Here, wait, here.
Don't want to hang
think
out
I
too
moved
wide,
it.
bro. That is
Yep, I passed it.
fantastic. I can translate New Zealand for you.
What do you reckon a guard to make their draw harder?
What do you reckon? What do you think?
Where's shot?
I reckon we go for our points.
Tiff
Yeah, if we
says-
go for a point, then we'd probably put up a guard to make their angled raise harder, right?
Pardon?
If we put up a guard, then the angled raise is harder. It's a lot harder to draw that way, I reckon. What do you think?
Just off center.
I reckon the same weight, yeah.
So
and
what,
just
just
cover
like
the other side of the, yeah,
this
right
line?
there.
Edge of blue.
Yeah.
So a couple of thoughts here about which shot is hardest for the Koreans, Sander.
Don't tap this.
I think Div wanted to throw another one into the 4-foot on the intern
Play
side,
your
but
they're good.
Yeah, I know. I'll play the same weight.
Chelsea's thinking that the harder shot, or the easier shot for the Koreans is actually on the outturn side, so she's looking to take that away to try and steal.
I agree that the easier shot is the outturn draw. I'd still like them to put some pressure on Korea now and make that intern draw into the 4-foot. If
Yep.
anything, just close the scoring area.
Indeed.
Wow. Emma,
This,
Emma.
this
No,
should
no, no,
at
whoa,
least
whoa,
be
whoa.
a fit from the center line to choke off the outturn draw.
Let's
Whoa,
go.
whoa.
No, sweet.
So a nice stone there from Chelsea Farley, taking away a bit more of the access into the 4-foot area on the outturn side. That's what she wanted to try and do.
Didn't do very much though, Hans.
I figured this way at least it's hard for them to get more than one.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chelsea Farley was worried about those Korean stones accumulating.
Well, if she was worried about the
웨이트
Korean
맞으면
stones
여기
accumulating,
잡으면은
it'd be
만들
more
수는 있을
sense
것
to bring
같긴
another
한데
red
여기까지
stone
만들
into the
수는
house.
있어.
I agree. Another great curling cliche is sometimes the best guard is second shot.
아니 여기 늦춰서.
So now the intern side is available for Team Korea. And, you know, some danger here for the New Zealanders. If she can throw back 8-foot, back 12-foot weight and hit half of this
그냥
stone,
7 가는 웨이트로.
Korea might be able to score 2 or 3, maybe 4.
천일
So,
결매하는데.
It is overburied by almost a full rock, Hans. I'm not sure if...
Don't think it's going to make it curl enough to get there with weight.
We'll see.
We have seen some big late finish with some of these draws. We're going to know in a moment. Here comes the final stone of the end for Eun-jung Kim, playing the third. Tight to the guard. And it comes into that red 4-foot circle for a single point. So good end, entertaining end. Good setups from both teams, and New Zealand gets the force. They force the Koreans to take a single point with last rock. So a moral victory for them on the third. But after 3 ends of play, it's Korea 3, New Zealand 1. Play now in the 4th end of this 10-end contest. You're enjoying live action from the semifinals here on Friday at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships in Uiseong, Korea. Uiseong is it's about a 4-hour drive from Seoul. It's a rural part of the country. Beautiful rolling landscape here. And we're told that Uiseong is known for garlic, which is kind of interesting. Haven't seen any vampires around anyway, so I'm sure that's probably true. There's Holly Thompson.
Luckily, it doesn't smell like garlic everywhere.
That's a definite plus. Haven't seen any garlic-flavored donuts or anything like that.
I have seen garlic lamp posts, though.
Garlic lamp posts.
Have you not seen them?
I haven't. That's fantastic.
Well, when you walk back to the hotel today,
okay,
have a look.
I'll have a look for those garlic.
They're decorated with garlics.
That's outstanding. Holly Thompson throwing up the corner guard. So again, the Kiwis with the hammer now, looking for the offense. We mentioned that these teams are trying to qualify for the World Women's Curling Championships. The other thing that they're trying to qualify, of course, is the 2018 Winter Olympics, which will be held right here in Korea, Pyeongchang. WCF media man Cameron McAllister, I had a word with him this morning before the match. He's been up in the Pyeongchang area looking at the venues over the last few days, and he was really impressed with them all. The Koreans are well prepared for the Winter Games. The way that teams get themselves to the Olympics, the hosts get a place, of course, and the other ways to get there are earning qualification points at the World Women's Championships, and 2 teams will gain entry through the Olympic qualifying event.
Line's looking good.
Tell you what, the stone's coming now deep into the rings.
Shot, Holly. That's great.
Back button, so nice control of the draw weight here from the Kiwis. There we go. Look how much that curled around that guard, and so now Kim Un-jung says, enough already. I'm going to rip this guard. Have you tried the garlic flavored chicken, Sander?
I have.
I've seen cheese chicken as well.
Lots of fried chicken in this region. A lot of fried chicken in Korea in general, really, Hans.
Food's great here, actually.
We're being spoiled.
Yeah, we sure have been. The organization's been really good, and Uiseong is a very welcoming town. So now Farley changing gears now. That guard's been removed, so she's looking to bring the play into the rings. She's going to ask Emma Sutherland to play a corner freeze. Do you like this call, Sander? I do. I kind of do. They're really having a go for her.
Yeah, it's a really good call. Corner freeze this, so you're sort of guarding your backstone as well.
Bump it.
It's a tough shot to make, though.
It is a tough shot.
Slowing.
Starting to move now. Just a bit of inattention, I think, from the sweepers. I think they thought it was wide and heavy, but they have to watch it because these stones really curl when they come down to rest. Good weight there from Emma Sutherland, and New Zealand's lying first and third, but would have liked a bit more of an angle there, I think. Two countries will qualify out of the Pacific Asia region for the Women's Worlds in Beijing, but because China is the host nation, they've got that one place guaranteed already. So it's a fight between the Koreans, the New Zealanders, and the Japanese for that other qualification place. Hits half a rock, rolls out to the wing. Farley's trying to get it out of the rings, but she sweeps it deep back into the 12-foot.
No, I reckon we take off this. Control? Yep, control.
Okay, so bit of a bailout here from the New Zealanders, electing to remove the front guard and is supposed to throw another rock in the rings.
Roll it, Devs.
Not rolling.
That's okay.
It's actually not a bad result. They reposition the guard. They open up their stone, and there we get a great look at it. So that guard might be usable for the Kiwis. It's off the center line now, and the Koreans don't guard this well. Might give themselves a chance for a tap back. So not a bad result, actually. Kim Kyung-ae. Well swept indeed.
Do you want to do normal and try the run back, or do you want to try, control away?
What?
Control.
Okay.
So a couple of options here for the Kiwis. They could angle run their red on top of their own red, but Chelsea Farley electing to run back that center guard thrown by Kim Kyung-ae. So now Div Jayaranjan gonna try a run back, straight back. No run back, so they're going to try and reposition the guards.
Go shot, Devs.
I was a bit down. Sorry.
So this end building up now, shaping up like the Koreans just going to try and guard out the end. They've got their shot stone there. We can see in the 4-foot, the yellow stone belongs to Korea. They're going to defend it. So this says to me, Sander, that the Korean team know that they're in a competitive game here today, and they're just playing percentages here. Not trying anything fancy, playing high percentage shots. Good guard.
Well, they know New Zealand's going to have to make a good one here.
So Chelsea Farley's going to come and have a look at the angles.
I'll play actual control.
Control?
Yeah, I think I was a bit down. I was a bit down with the last one.
I'll give you a bit more ice.
I think I was a bit down with my last one.
Okay, I'll give you the same ice and you just up your weight a little.
Yeah.
Okay, good communications there between Farley and Jayaranjan. Div thought she was a bit down, and Chelsea was going to give her a bit more ice, and so they just compared notes and got on the same page. They're trying to get this one straight back and get a run back. Oh, good looking shot. Got a piece, just past it. Pushes her own stone out to the wing for second shot, so very close to a great double run back. Repositions the stones though. Just over curled a hair instead of running it straight back. Created a slight angle. But there we get final look at it. She's trying to get straight on the nose, just slightly over curling. Good try from the New Zealanders. Still have something going here. Now they've got second shot on the right-hand side, but that stone on the button fully protected by that red guard stone. So I'd say that Kim Eun-jung, Sander, is going to try to tuck a corner around and take that run back away.
Yeah, I think she's just going to bring one in to line 2, really.
So I think she's going to come right on top.
I think so.
Okay. It's a good call, trying to put more pressure on Team New Zealand. Sweeping it now to curl and finish it, and Senderova predicted right on top of her own stone, and that's a great shot.
We could hit in the house. Can you see much of it?
I won't be able to see much of it. I think it's better to do this and clear the guard.
Yeah, normal. Yeah. Here?
A little bit less.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there.
Okay, so
Actually, go back to where you were. I like your eyes better. Okay. Normal.
So it looks to me like Farley's going to try the run back. They can maybe see a corner of that stone in the top 4 foot, so they briefly talked about coming around the guards with down hit weight and trying to remove one of the stones that way, but they have settled on the run back.
Well, those yellows are almost frozen, so it'll be really hard to get both yellows flying. Let's try to remove one yellow and maybe squirt the second one out to the wing, out to the open.
Roll it all the way out, Holly.
Okay, I don't think we've got the run back, but they do clear a guard. Will they get some action here? Almost clipped their own. So now we see Chelsea Farley on her in turn, trying the run back. Just fails to curl enough and goes by. So we can see now it's opened it up at least, but Korea will put that one back. It'll leave a very difficult final stone for the Kiwis. They do have that angle run in on the guard on the just to the right of the center line as a bailout. They've also got a in off on that stone on the right hand side of our screen. So Kim Eun-jung can't guard everything, but she's in pretty good shape. And usually, Sander, when you're trying to defend and there's a few different shot choices for your opponent, you try to take away the most obvious one, don't you?
Well, for me, the most obvious is really the in-off. Seems like the easiest shot for me.
There we get a great look from our overhead that on the out-turn side, she could play a jump off that red, but judging by the room placement, I think Chelsea's saying, okay, I can see the pin on the out-turn side, and I'm just going to try and draw it on the pin.
Just draw into the button.
Yep.
Actually, not even to the button, to the pin. Actually, maybe give me a little bit more.
I was surprised that have they even looked at the hit and roll off their own?
Don't think they have. I think that Chelsea says, okay, I can see half the button. They know it's going to curl on the down weight, so probably in her mind she's thinking, okay, if I hit the 4 foot, I cut them down to 1.
Yeah.
If I hit the pin, I score. If you try the in off, and maybe you give up a pile.
Yeah. No, I understand that, but
shot
you also have to try and win the game.
You do have to try and win the game, you're right, and that would have been a risky but possible shot to score more than 1. Good looking line now.
This is a really tough draw.
This will curl hard at the end, though. They've left it too long. They should have been sweeping that stone, and it's come up short. Oh, that's a shame. That stone, it was there. They had perfect line, but the sweepers back off it, and they leave it short, and Korea steals too. Oh, disappointment for the Kiwis, and maybe some inexperience showing there in the front end players.
Sorry, I should have yelled. I did slow a lot.
It's a steal of 2 for
Good
Korea
effort,
in the
guys.
4th. So after 4 ends of
Okay.
play, it's Korea 5,
we're gonna
New
go
Zealand
2.
1.
Then we're only 2 behind. Forced to 1. Take a 2. Forced to 1. Take a 2.
So a brave attempt there from the Kiwis to draw for the 1, and a little bit of inexperience showing there, I'm afraid. Underswept, and Korea stole the 2. Good news for the New Zealanders is they'll keep the hammer, but instead of being down 3-2, now they're trailing 5-1. So that was a big swing, I'm afraid. New Zealand will stick with the plan. They'll throw corner guards. Here's Holly Thompson.
Line's looking good. Sorry, guys. Still might stop.
It's
Never
going to
mind.
stop in the
Good
rings, I'm
effort.
afraid, Chelsea. It's a bit deep there from Holly. She's not happy with that. She was looking for the guard.
It's really the last thing you want to do after giving up a steal 2 is young Mi will be able to play the hit and set 2, and even if the Kiwis put up another corner.
Competition and playing in a number of events. In comparison, the Kiwi team gets very little top-level competition, and that can be a difference maker at this level.
A huge one, I think, Hans. The Korean team has been playing just about 6 events so far this season. It's still early, really.
And successfully as well. I mean, they're
yeah.
among the top-ranked teams in the world, aren't they?
Yeah, about 5 of these tournaments have been in Canada, where you'll find a lot of the best teams. And for the season, this team is ranked number 8 on the order of merit on the World Curling Tour. So the 8th best team in the world in terms of the last 3 months.
Yeah. So you'd have to say for a team like New Zealand that's, it's got some talent but are looking to take it up to the next level, for them to make that jump, they're probably going to have to get that enough support to make that same level of commitment and competition really to foot it, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going to need the funding, get the chance to go to Canada and Europe and play better teams, and that's really the only way you learn. Good thing is they're able to play at the Pacific Asia Championships, and obviously there's a couple of really good teams here, and this is all a learning experience. They made it to the final stages, and they're in the medal games. And they're just going to build from that.
Yep,
they're a young team.
They are a young team, and say I'm impressed with the way that Chelsea calls the game. She's got aggressive instincts. So it is a young team, so they've got a future.
Got it?
Yes, got it.
Do I need to roll it, or is it?
No, don't roll
But Kiwis are competitive as well, and they'll be thinking, well, we want the future to be now. Sutherland cross-house almost made the double takeout, got a piece of the Korean stone, but rolls out of the back. See the contact point. Hits that one a bit thicker, and she might make the double. New Zealand does have the hammer here on end number 5. It'll be a short 4-minute break at the midpoint of the game, where the players will have a chance to have a bite to eat, and they can talk to their coaches and support teams. This Korean team, Sander, has been it's been really impressive through the tournament. We saw them lose a game to Japan's Satsuki Fujisawa, but other than that, they've been really strong right through the whole event.
We saw this team play really well at the Pacifics 2 years ago in Karuizawa, Japan. Only just lost the final, but they were just steamrolling through everything before that. We've been expecting the same this week. I wouldn't say they've hit their top level quite yet, but I'm sure they're just saving it for the final.
Maybe waiting for their family and friends to roll in on the weekend. Maybe they're at work today. So you don't want to leave your run too late, and I know they're not. They're definitely wanting to have their A game right through the event. And here is Kim Kyung-hae, speaking of A's. Yes, Sander was mentioning the 2014 Pacific Asia Championships. I think that's when the curling world was really introduced to this team. And as he said, they were so impressive that week, playing really brave shots and confidently. So they've got the full range of skills, this Korean team. Kyung-hae, I think, at third. This is the case for many teams. The third can really be the spark plug for the team, and I think Kyung-hae definitely fills that role for Team Korea. Here's Dipjaranjan, the Kiwi third. Oh, Div said dodgy slide. More Kiwi translation. Dodgy means not so cool, not so good. So misses, unfortunately, goes past the guard. And a bit of trouble brewing now for Team New Zealand. That stone's right on the button. There's already one guard in front of it, and now Korea is going to try and lock it up.
Coming up a little heavy here and just trying to sweep past their shot stone.
That's a bit of a let-off for the New Zealanders, isn't it? That's
a big let-off.
That's a mistake. Trying to sit on top of her own stone, but inexplicably heavy, and instead of freezing, actually creates a pocket for the New Zealanders to draw to. So,
well, they're peeling the guard, Hans.
Really? I'm very surprised with this call.
Yeah, I would love to see them just come down with a freeze or a little tap. I don't really understand what the peel on the guard is giving them.
Yeah, I'd say that I agree. I think that's a tactical error from the Kiwis.
As you know, Korea's just going to bring this one closer. Just about there, top 8. Just in case New Zealand actually does play the freeze or the tap, they'll have a stone a little closer. They can just run back and also make the line a lot tighter to make the draw.
Yes.
굳이 스티치는 안 해도 되는 정도? 네.
다섯 위쪽.
다섯?
아.
1번?
저게 더블이 스테이까지는 좀 힘들 것 같긴 한데 되면 써먹어야 돼서.
1번.
Kim Eun-jung.
좀 잡혔어.
정말 좋아. 계속 와.
나는 계속 가.
와야 돼. 이까 와야 돼. 언니야 들어와.
가야 돼. 웨이트 가. 웨이트 가. 오케이.
Stone coming to rest. Just about full 8 foot. Covers half of that stone. Sounds like they're talking about the hit, but do you
Why?
like the double takeout, Sander, or is there another option that the Kiwis could think about?
I think you kind of have to play the double at this point. It's pretty risky. I mean, well, you're 4 down. You can just play the draw and tap now. But if you didn't do it on your previous shot,
You wouldn't do it now, would you?
no, not really. It's a tad too late. I think if you ever miss it, you're in big trouble. So
Game's over,
you're
right.
kind of conceded the chance to get your 2 with that previous call. So now just make the double and try and open up the scoring area and make sure you get the single.
Yep, that's a sensible approach to be sure. So here's Chelsea Farley trying to make a double takeout.
If you ever play the double and roll in behind the corner, though, there might just be a chance still.
There's 1, there's 2.
That'll do.
So she gets rid of 2 stones. Nice job there by Chelsea Farley, and sits her own stone in front of that Korean stone. So that's about as good a result as you could ask for. You can see the action on the shooters, springing both of the Korean stones out of the rings. Thompson, Sutherland on the brushing. Great ice angle. Hey, look at it there.
Yeah. Nice shot.
Farley and Jararanjan can only watch. They've got 1 to come, though. Kiwis have the hammer here on end number 5. Well, they sound a bit concerned about this one. Is it going to overcurl? Are they going to jam? Yes, they do.
Oh, wow.
Big break for the New Zealanders and disaster for the Koreans. They were trying to remove that New Zealand stone. It overcurls and it jams on that stone. We talked about how Chelsea Farley's shot left it in front of the Korean stone, and this is how it pays off, folks. Look at that. Red New Zealand stone remains in the 4-foot, so possible turnaround here and a chance for the Kiwis to score 2.
Big mistake by
라인은
Kim
괜찮아.
On-jung.
아니면은
That was
라인은
never the
괜찮아.
tolerance.
근데 좀
Could have just clipped that on the other side, and there's no chance of New Zealand scoring 2.
Yeah, so it would have been better to miss the shot completely than miss it that way. So now a chance here for Chelsea Farley. Important that the Kiwis cash in on this mistake. Final stone of end number 5.
She did play this draw in the first end.
Yep, she's thrown this one before.
Looking good, Hans.
Really hard. Yes, they really wanted it in there, and it comes to rest in the back of the button. So nice job there from Team New Zealand. Skips deuce for Chelsea Farley. Thank you, Tiv. That's exactly right. 2 on the board for the Kiwis, and so at the 5th end break, New Zealand closes it up. It's Korea 5, New Zealand 3.
We got points. It's exciting.
Let's steal the next.
It's going a lot better than last time we played them.
So let's have a look at the highlights of the first half of the game. In the first end, Korea here with a chance to play a hit and maybe score 3 or 4, but they're a little bit wide, clipping the New Zealand stone onto their own, rolling them all out of the rings, and so they score 2, but they wish they would have had more. Had a great chance there. Moving on to the fourth, looking at 2 stones buried in New Zealand's Chelsea Farley, trying to draw the pin on her last shot to try and get it there, but just underswept, comes to rest short of the 4-foot. Disappointment for the New Zealanders, but a big steal of 2 for Team Korea.
So we're going to get our 2.
Who took the lead. And then there was a bit of a discussion, and on to the 5th end. Korea's Eun-jung Kim over curls and jams with her last stone. So big turnaround, and the door opens for Team New Zealand to score their deuce. Chelsea Farley has to draw the 8-foot with her final rock. She's had very good control of her draw weight in this game and once again delivers. Thompson, Sutherland easing the stone into that 8-foot area, and it comes to rest in the back of the button. And all of a sudden, we've got ourselves a curling game, folks. New Zealand with a deuce on the board, and at the end of the 5th end break, it's Korea 5 and New Zealand 3. So, bit of an unexpected turnaround there in the 5th. It's Hans Fraunlob here with world mixed curling champion Sander Rovog of Norway, and Sander. Big mistake there from the Koreans, but good play by the New Zealanders to punish the mistake, and now they're back in the game.
Yep, sloppy mistake by Korea, but I think us here in the booth and the neutral fans happy to see the scoreline tighten up a wee bit. You know, it's just going to make for a more exciting second half of the game.
So there we see Holly Thompson. 58% shooting accuracy so far in the match.
Yeah, I should probably want to increase those numbers just a wee bit, but I will tell you that the percentages this week have been, they've not been,
good shot.
Haven't been top class, have they? It's been difficult ice, I think, especially for the front end players. I mean, the ice conditions are great, but it is so fast. We've seen a lot of attempted corner guards sliding into the rings, and that can really affect the shooting percentages. Here's Kim Young-mi, and she's playing at 83%.
I don't think the ice being too fast is an excuse. I don't think most players like the ice to be as fast as possible. Like,
No,
it might be a little different for players from the likes of New Zealand, where you might not have as great ice conditions, but no, I think most players are just loving the fact that the ice is so quick.
Yep, I think you're absolutely right. Given the option of very quick ice and slower ice, competitive players will take the quicker ice every time. That stone comes to rest. Front button, so Korea has got their end set up. Holly Thompson being asked to follow that one down.
What I was going to say about the numbers this week is they've been correct and they've been fair, but they might be slightly harsher than you've seen other places. And the numbers is really just a number. And although it gives you an indication of how well a player's been playing, it also comes a little bit down to key shots and sometimes a little bit of luck. It differs.
Yeah, key shots at the right time. I think what shooting accuracy does give us, though, is a picture of the head-to-head matchups between the players at the different playing positions. So we could see that Kim Young-mi's got quite an edge at the lead position for Korea, and they've been getting ends set up well.
That's exactly that. If you're playing 50% or 100, doesn't really matter as long as you're out shooting your opponent.
Young-mi, known as Pancake, because apparently she likes pancakes. Bumps the New Zealand stone back into the house, just through. And who doesn't like pancakes, really? Haven't seen any garlic flavored pancakes, thankfully, this week.
Control.
Here's Emma Sutherland. She's playing at 50% so far. We mentioned that this New Zealand front end It's really their first international experience at this level. They have played at Youth Olympics, but this is their first time representing for the New Zealand women at a Pacific Asia curling event. Great experience for them.
다섯 주워.
Conversely, this Korean women's team have absolute wealth of international experience. Pacific Juniors, World Juniors, Pacific Asia. So even though they're a relatively young team as well, they've got tons of international experience. And look at that, Kim Seong-young playing at 88%. Trying to weld it on top of her own. Oh, that's a great shot.
아니, 좀 많이 뻗는 것 같은데.
Control.
So Sunny's strong play continues. That's a very nice draw. Here's Emma Sutherland.
Control. Same way. Yep, yep.
She can nose this one and sit right in front of it.
Did you say up weight? Yeah. Okay, don't worry. It's got both of them, I think.
Chelsea thinks it's a double, but it's pretty hard to see. But she does, in fact, squeeze it out sideways, so
Shot.
out they go. Double takeout there, her second of the game.
Well, that's a good plan B, I guess.
Yeah, catches it thin, so she had plenty of weight, and that was enough to squeeze the Korean stone out sideways. So in spite of that very nice stone by Kim Sun-young, Emma Sutherland able to deal with it. And Sander, the longer that this New Zealand team keeps hanging around and keeping it tight, the more anxious I suspect, even though this Korean team is very experienced, they'll be coming into this game thinking this is an opponent we can handle. And the longer they keep hanging around and keeping it close, the more anxious they're likely to get.
I think that's definitely correct. You know, they wanted to close this one out early, and when they're not able to, it's becoming all frustrating and can affect their shot making and the calls they make. I think what they have to do is just stay calm and just play their normal game and hope that it kind of resolves itself. They're up by 2 with the hammer, so still in a very strong spot to win the game.
Divjayaranjan at 48%.
Wow!
She'll be looking for a stronger second half. She's been close, but she's missed a couple of hits. Has a piece and might hang around. Yes, it does. It bites the edge of the 12-foot. There's still a guard up there that the Koreans can use, but Korea with the hammer. New Zealand would be really happy to force them to 1 here in this 6th end. Get the hammer back and maybe get a deuce of their own. And if they were able to do that, then the final few ends would be very exciting indeed. Here's Kim Kyung-ae playing at 85%. Good looking line. These stones really curl when they finish. Could have hit that a little earlier. I think they still might be showing a corner.
Where is it?
It's like half a broom head outside top 4.
It's like nearly fully behind the guard, so I guess either lower weight hit or...
Okay, you reckon a hit?
Oh, I don't know. Where is it?
It's like, yeah, pretty close to top 4. We'd probably have to come this way though. It would risk the jam.
Okay.
And I don't know if it would curl enough this way. What do you think about the freeze? Or taking the guard?
I reckon either freeze or like back 8.
Okay, back 8. Let's do back 8.
Okay.
Okay, so after some discussion
Yeah,
there.
this is good ice.
I have no idea.
Some honest feedback there from Dr. Div. Ultimately now they're going to play back 8-foot weight. They can see a corner, so they're going to try and just hit the stone with down weight.
Slight
They don't want to let this stone break late. The sweepers want to be close to this rock. It's going to really curl hard. Good looking rock. Hits half, pushes it behind the tee line.
Yeah, shot divs, that's good.
It's probably about the best they could do.
Gives us options.
Good shot there from Devijayarajan, Kiwi third. Kim Kyung A. She can see all of this one. So she'll be looking to try and roll somewhere behind cover. They've got the roll, but it might pop out the other side.
I think it has.
Yeah, a little sweeping misread there from the Koreans.
I think it was better to keep it on the other side of the guard, really, and keep some separation.
Yep, so now we can see those two Korean stones.
Wait, which one am I going for? Double or?
Go for the double, but if I get the roll, it's okay.
Yeah. What do you think about?
Yeah, I reckon about there. That looks good, broski.
Cool.
Looks good, broski. I love it. If
Control.
you've never met New Zealanders before, and you ever visit New Zealand, you know, this is what you'll hear. Coming into summer in the Southern Hemisphere, of course, the New Zealanders' curling season is May to October. Chelsea at 60%, so she's the highest of the Kiwis at this point, and she's made some stones to keep them in the game.
Yeah, she's made some key shots, that's for sure. Made that freeze in the very first end, cut Korea down to 2.
There's one, there's two. Could have swept that one, I think. They get a piece. Devijayarajan trying to sweep it out of the rings.
Yeah, nice
I
sweep.
think that's good enough.
Yeah, pushes it back for third shot. So
Nice sweep.
another nice bailout stone there from Chelsea Farley. Here we see trying the double takeout. Korean stone over curled on the hit and flop and gave the Korea a chance to make a double. And great execution there from Team New Zealand. Smiles all around.
I was very worried.
I wasn't.
Just wasn't killing her.
Chelsea says, had it all the way. Great result. And look at the roll. They're half covered behind that front guard as well. So great outcome there for Chelsea Farley. Nice stone.
백업. 백에서 백업까지.
New Zealand lies 2. Korea has the hammer. Kim Eun-jung playing at 68%. All of her teammates are in the 80s, and I think that's reflective, Sander, of the fine bailout shooting by Chelsea Farley, keeping them in the game, really.
Yeah, making things difficult for the Korean skip.
Well by the guard. She's going to get a piece, but she's going to roll, I think, into the open. Will it push it out for fourth shot? Oh, just past her own. Bit fortunate there for the Koreans. High five. So the deuce is still on for Team Korea. There's Kim Eun-jung. Chelsea Farley can see about 3/4 of that Korean shot rock. She'll be happy to just hit this one on the nose. This is quite a similar path that she just came down. Oh, Rondo do it immediately. I think they think they're narrow. They're worried about getting by the guard. They must get by the guard. Oh, now they're by the guard, so a bit of a panic sweep there. Well past the guard. Noses it. New Zealand lies 2. Panic indeed.
Just about broke the microphone.
Yep. I think our eardrums are still recovering, but net result is New Zealand lies 2.
흰색 다 들어가게.
It's another good throw. I mean, there was a good chance he could jam on the back there, but
Yeah.
that did not
I
happen.
missed that.
And Korea's forced to take their single. Good end by New Zealand.
Yeah, impressive shooting by Chelsea Farley and her teammates. So it's job done here for New Zealand. They've got the force, and Kim Eun-jung has to draw it in the 8-foot here to save the point. These seem like easy shots, but they're never made until they're made, and the sweepers are backing right off this one. They need this to come to rest into the 8-foot circle. Coming down now and coming to rest in just past the tee line, so it's a single point for Korea here on the 6th end. Kim Eun-jung draws it just past the tee line, but nice job by Team New Zealand to generate the force. They're still in this game. They've got the hammer coming up on end number 7, but after 6 ends of play, it's Korea 6 and New Zealand 3. So we're underway on end number 7. We're talking in the previous end about New Zealanders hanging in there, and Korea thinking perhaps they were going to have an easy time of it this morning, but the New Zealanders are being tenacious. Holly Thompson now being asked to throw a corner guard. Heard the New Zealanders at the 5th end break saying, okay, force them, we score 2. Force them, we score 2. And it's the way you have to think about it. And so they've got their force. Wombat. Okay, I think I've got our new favorite nickname for the week. Does Wombat trump Pancake?
I'm not sure.
Wombat's actually an Australian animal rather than a Kiwi animal. I don't know if I've seen too many wombats in New Zealand, but
They are cute and fuzzy.
they are cute and
But a
fuzzy.
pancake is yummy and fluffy.
So there's lots to like at the lead position here.
3 down with hammer, New Zealand.
Yeah, it's game on, definitely.
Oh, that's very, very well played by Kim Young-mi. Just gets that first on top 4. Perfect tight center guard. Perfect line. Just making it all harder for New Zealand to get things going.
Holly Thompson. Wombat. Beautiful sunny morning here in Uiseong, Korea at the Pacific Asia Curling Championships. It's semifinal Friday. Live action here. Top-ranked Korea taking on New Zealand. Speaking of sunny, here's Kim Sung-young. Just see the time clocks at the top of our screen. The teams have 38 minutes each of playing time, and both teams have got plenty of time available, so that really won't be a factor in this one. Kim Sun-young. Well, they're going to chip it on top of their own. They do. So another error there from Team Korea. And if you're a New Zealand curling fan, your team's in with a chance here.
And Sun Young has had such a good game so far as well.
Yeah, she's been really impressive. So that's an uncharacteristic error there. Emma Sutherland. Oh, down goes Div again. Back on her feet. Trying to sweep it for a curl now. Taking it deep.
Taking a knee.
Takes a knee.
Almost takes a knee out, actually.
A wry smile there from Div Jairanjan. Again, staying out of the way of the rock at least when she fell down. So jumps back up and sweeps it into the ring. So something going here for the Kiwis. Wow. Raised takeout there from Korea. Nice stone. Sunny Kim running that corner guard back. Great shot, Sander.
Yeah, not an easy shot. Very well executed. And of course that guard now is a yellow. So if New Zealand makes a good come around, Korea will have a chance to play the very same shot, but this time run a yellow stone back.
Yeah, it's heavier. I think it might be out.
That's okay. We'll watch it. Oh, no, slowing.
Slowing down nicely, but yeah.
It's like back 8, back 12. Hopefully it hangs around.
Yeah, they think this stone is deep, so the sweeper's just back right off it.
Sorry. No worries.
Yeah, it's another error, unfortunately. The Kiwis need rocks in play, and this one is through the rings and out of play. Disappointment there for Emma.
이쪽으로 얼마나 보이는데?
진짜 조금.
진짜 조금?
아니, 럼백하는 게 낫잖아.
아예.
차라리 럼백하고 다니면 재밌어.
필? 이쪽을 조금 도는 것 같긴 한데.
네.
아예 여기 끝에 잡아줄까? 아니면
네, 좀만. 네.
So it looks to me, Sander, that Kim Kyung-ae is going to be asked to rip this guard. Is she going to just run it back, or is she just peeling it, do you think?
I think I heard run back being called.
Oh, nice shot.
Actually, overswept it just a wee bit, though.
Yeah. And a chance to pick that New Zealand stone out clean.
So ends up emptying the house and has left 2 corner guards, really. So New Zealand still with a good chance of generating a deuce here.
All the stones go rocketing out of the rings. Empty house for New Zealand, but as Sander pointed out, guards for
Watch the guard, Charles.
Div Jairanjan to use.
Yep, Emma. Slowing. Yep, Emma. Yeah, Holly. Yep. Yep, Ed!
Must get by this guard, but I think they're going to clip it. Yeah, they just clip it.
Yeah, nice, Devs.
So another little sweeping error there, I'm afraid, from the New Zealanders.
아니면 너무 숨지 말고 그냥 위로도 괜찮아.
They do lie one.
아예 숨는 거보단 그냥 차라리
Took
이게 낫다.
quite a bit of ice on that throw. Just having not a lot of rotation on her in turns, which could have been a great advantage coming around the corner where it doesn't curl as much.
Yep.
But just in the end, actually curled too much.
Right on the nose. I think that one is probably just biting the 12-foot.
It's not in, but I still think we
Okay.
need to get rid of
Chell
it
says
out
no.
of our path so I can hit and roll.
Okay.
Is there any real benefit in hitting this stone, do you think, Sander?
Well, her explanation was it's sort of in the way for the draw, but yeah, you gotta go for scoring 2 here, and with only 3 shots left, you gotta think that you need to draw around one of the guards.
It's got a bit more.
So look, it's being very cautious though, and being 3 down, kind of have to be a little more aggressive. It might have staggered the corner guards a little bit though.
Well, we did see Div Engine called it a skip's deuce for New Zealand in the 5th end, and so maybe Chelsea Farley can produce the same here on end number 7. Guards are in good spots for the New Zealanders, but the Koreans will have first shot at it. Kim Eun-jung about to throw.
센 것 같아. 기다려.
죽고 있어. 내 뒤로 가.
아니야.
Playing end number 7 of this 10-end contest. Semifinals here on a Friday in Uiseong, Korea. That one slides to the back of the forefoot. So a couple of options now for the New Zealanders, aren't there? They could hit and roll, they could freeze to it, they could just come around the corner.
Yeah, all viable options. Hans don't really favor the hit, because they're going to have to make just an excellent roll for there to be no chance of Korea coming after it and bumping it out.
Even if they make the roll, it's going to be deep in the 8-foot, isn't it? So probably a chance to make a play at it.
There'd be probably enough room for Korea to come around and hit it, and if not, they're probably coming around and freeze it.
Again, a bit of a panic sweep again out of hand, but they back off it now.
You might have flicked it,
He's got contact. Just gets a piece, rolls out.
Unfortunate it didn't stick around.
Sliding very narrow.
아니 위쪽으로 왔거든요.
It was sliding very narrow.
Yeah, and it doesn't kill too much down that patch. It's a patch short.
여기는 그냥 힘
I think you might have,
잡으면은.
Yeah, I know, but even
Yeah.
your one didn't
Oh,
kill
okay.
much. Remember?
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And then there was that one of mine that we were throwing back that way, which
안 돌아서.
didn't kill as much as we expected.
Yeah.
Because, like, I thought I'd turn that one in. But not much.
방금 근데 좀 잡았어.
So chance now for the
아예
Koreans
알았어.
to use that
질주당하는
center
것
guard.
같은데.
Looking to tuck one around it and probably sit just in front of the tee line would be position A. Past the guard.
넘어갈 것 같아.
Would have liked that to come to rest in front of the tee line. She slides past it, so
얼만데? 01.
back forefoot. Small mistake there from Kim Eun-jung. Still a tough final stone coming up here, though, for Team New Zealand. Chelsea Farley is going to have to draw somewhere into that red forefoot circle to score the single point.
Well, I have to say her draw weight's been really good in this game.
Yeah, she's made a lot of them.
She's walked around making fun of her bad draw weight all week, but haven't really seen any of that in this game. She's been pretty much on point.
So here is Chelsea Farley playing her out turn.
It might be a bit light, but I'm not sure.
Well, a bit light, the sweepers better be on it. Last stone of end number 7. Looks close. Need it full into that red forefoot circle. Can Sutherland and Thompson drag it there? Oh, agonizingly short for New Zealand. Chelsea was right. She was just slightly light. The sweeper's doing everything they can to sweep it there, but they come up maybe 4 inches short. Oh, bad break for Team New Zealand, but it's a steal of 1 for Korea after 7 ends of play. It's Korea 7 and New Zealand 3.
Good effort, mate. Good sweep. Good Gumby today.
So close for the New Zealanders there in the 7th. Coming up just short on their draw to save the 1. And a big control point steal there for the Koreans. And so now as we're entering the 8th end, Korea is holding a 4-point advantage. So from here, pretty much imperative that the New Zealanders at least score in this end and probably need to score 2. Holly Thompson. The winner of this game will advance to the gold medal final, which we'll be carrying for you live tomorrow. The loser of this game goes to the bronze medal match, which is also important because the winner of the bronze medal match, although they wouldn't qualify for the Women's World Championships, would qualify to participate in the Olympic qualification event. So, whereas at most events they consider the bronze medal match if you've lost the semifinal a bit of a hollow exercise. At the Pacific Asia Curling Championships, it's actually a very important game. Korea throws 2 into the rings. So a little pocket created for the New Zealanders. So instead of throwing a guard, Chelsea Farley says, let's use that. Throw one right in there. So Holly Thompson being asked to play a freeze.
Already apologizing. We're not even across the hog line yet.
That's also a very Kiwi thing.
Well, I'd say she's pretty close here.
That's a good looking shot.
That's good. Good attempt. Just apologizing for sweepers having to sweep it coast to coast, but
nothing to be sorry about there, Holly. That was a good shot. It's a team game. If they give the sweepers brooms, you're expecting them to use it.
I'd rather sweep a shot from coast to coast and make it than just look at it all the way down and don't make it.
Absolutely.
It is sometimes frustrating if you sweep a stone coast to coast and you're not even close. However.
Yes. Some people pay lots of money to gyms and things like that for that kind of thing. So tough to remove this stone here for the Koreans, so they don't mind jamming it just to get that catcher out of the equation.
I'm still tempted to come into this little connection.
Yeah.
Well, it worked once, so why not? Try it again. What have we got to lose? I like the Kiwi attitude there. They know they have to gamble.
Top 4.
Top 4 is good.
Take. Top 4.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Pretty good looking shot here from Emma Sutherland.
Nice shot, Emma.
That's
Keep
about
it
as
up.
good as you can throw it. So nice setup here by the Kiwi front end. Sutherland and Thompson. Young women from the Maniatoto doing a great job. Sun Young Kim. We've got a piece. They do jam and roll their own out to the edge of the 12-foot. New Zealand won't mind that.
No, it's actually just provided them some backing for that corner guard. So Chelsea Farley with the right call here. Coming around that guard to just put up, and that Yellowstone in the back will be a bit of a nuisance to Korea.
So we saw a nice draw from Emma Sutherland on the first stone. Can she come around the corner here again? I'd like to keep this one in the front 8-foot. It's going to slide deeper, so takes the jam away, unfortunately, but it does stick around for third shot. Every stone in the rings right now is a potential ally for Team New Zealand.
That's a pretty good shot there. For Korea, if they hit and roll out, they're just going to leave New Zealand to play the same draw. So they want to hit and roll and try and stick around for shot or second shot. But then again, you're also leaving a stone in the back of the rings New Zealand might use. So, you know, both options are amazing for them.
Oh, just sneak it by the guard. Trying to roll it away from the guards, and they do. That's a nice stone.
Very good shot.
Yeah, let's go hit.
Sitting two.
Yeah, this one now. Control.
Okay, New Zealand electing to play a takeout here. A little bit surprising. They could maybe just play a tap and push it back, but Chelsea Farley elects to hit.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind just seeing a freeze or a tap. It is a bit tight to get through the port of the corner and the red stone top of the 8-foot, especially with Tiv's soft release, but
great ice level view here with the sweepers.
gonna make sure to stick around, and she does. That was the most important thing. Keep that stone in play. Rolls a bit too far though. Would have liked to sit for a third shot.
맞고 이렇게 아예
Kim Kyung-ae saying, can we just hit the back one? I don't think the back one is there, but she doesn't want to make a mistake either wide or narrow here. Not too much execution tolerance. Lots of weight. Picks the Kiwi stone out and saves her own shooter. Nice stone there by Kim Kyung-ae. And Korea lies two. They are well spread, so Chelsea Farley, we can see, gonna try and use that corner guard. There we get another look at that fine pick by Kim Kyung-ae. Tiv Jairanjan going to be asked to come around the corner guard. I like this call. We do know that Tiv stones with the gentle handle will absolutely curl at the end, so they're trying to keep the rock moving. Don't think they buried, but it's actually quite a good angle.
It's fully open though, Hans.
아예
so
약간 가는 거.
Hoping if it stayed in the same spot, just
Another rock over maybe.
yeah, a rock over that'd be really good. But since it's fully open, that shouldn't be a big problem for Kim Moon-jung.
범퍼야?
응.
5번
스테이에서 약간 안쪽까지 괜찮아.
Here we get a great look at it from the hack
좀
end.
말리는 것 같았는데 닦았는데 그냥 뒤에 가서는 좀 뻗어서 많이
Kim Eun-jung
뻗었어.
can see the whole stone.
약간 오픈. 기다려. 피네.
Oh, it's yes, no, yes, no. So they're near to what they'd like. Little inside roll, and Korea lies 3.
얼마인데?
So judging by the broom placement, looks to me like Chelsea Farley's going to try and play a control weight hit on the inside of that yellow stone and try to roll towards the other Korean rock and get behind cover. Only question is going to be, will the roll take her into shot rock position or not?
Control.
컷.
Yeah. Hand. Hand. Whoa. Even roll.
I'm going to roll the inside now instead.
Yes.
No, 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 yes, yes, yes.
My bad.
No, it's a good shot. It's a real good shot.
So they don't roll for shot, but they do roll behind cover for second shots. So Kim Eun-jung will want to be careful not to leave a double takeout possibility.
커브보다 좀 더 들어가도 되긴 하겠다. 3개. 여기만.
Nice inside roll.
나쁘지 않아.
If they don't do this here, then we've got to do.
Yep. Best we could do. My hands are getting cold too.
The rest of me is really warm. It's just my hands that are
me
cold.
고모.
Well, it is a winter sport, Div. Kim Eun-jung.
라인 좋아.
D 가야 되는데. 라인은 넉넉해.
This one's coming up light. Well, well, well. I gotta say, I'm stunned by that, and out of nowhere, New Zealand has a shot for 2. That's a huge mistake, but a big opportunity for the Kiwis. Nose hit here will get them back in this match. So it's a couple of times now that Eun-jung Kim has made big mistakes on her final stone and Sander out of nowhere.
Yeah, it all started in the first, and when she had a shot for 4, ended up only scoring the 2, and yeah, as you said, a couple of mistakes left New Zealand a chance to score.
No.
Chelsea Farley looking to cash in on that mistake, but they need this one to curl.
Not curling.
Oh no, have they got a piece? Oh, it's out of the ring, so score of 1 to New Zealand, but an opportunity lost. They did have a chance for their 2 there.
Just didn't kill,
A
eh?
wry smile there from Chelsea Farley
I was a
says,
little bit wide.
yeah, a little bit wide indeed. So it's a score of 1 to New Zealand on end number 8. Could have had the 2, but they have to settle for 1. So after 8 ends of play, 2 ends left. It's Korea 7 and New Zealand 4. So Holly Thompson.
I'm optimistic.
That's good. It's good.
Looks good to me.
Probably good.
Nice, Holly. Great guard.
Good start. Nice.
Perfect center guard there from Holly Thompson. Kim Young-mi, 88% of the lead position.
조금 세게 쳤어.
Very good game.
라인
강해. 네, 이제 웨이트만 맞춰줘. 라인 좀 많이 넉넉해. 일단 웨이트 봐야 돼. 더. 경희만. 좀만 더 내려와줘. 좀
좀만
숨기는 게
더.
나을 것 같아. 좀만 더. 쏠샷.
언니 거좀 별로인 것 같은데.
Heard the New Zealanders say between ends that, well, got to try and steal two, and the end plan was 2 center guards, and so Holly Thompson now, she's lifted her shooting percentages up into the 60s, so she's had a better second half of the game, being asked to throw a second center guard. New Zealand will just ignore the Korean stones in the house.
Yep. Okay, wait. Try and leave them as awkward as possible. Well, it's kind of not awkward, but that's okay. We'll put up another one. 몇 초야 방금?
네, 5초.
Kim Young-mi.
일단 와. 네, 라인 커트. 다섯.
아니 너무 많이 이거. 많이 할 것 같아요 이거.
어딘데?
7.
이거 와.
죽는데 6.
Just cozies up beside her stone, so maybe something for the New Zealanders to work with here. Emma Sutherland at 55%.
Okay, whoa.
This one over curling.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's going to be on the front guard.
Plan B. Not quite.
Yeah, it's bad luck for the Kiwis. They did set those guards up, but now they've eliminated them themselves.
Yeah, no, that's actually a pretty big mistake right there for Sutherland. It'd be better to keep the weight down there and make sure you pass the guard and just get a little tap on the yellows and the forefoot.
Yeah, no real need to blast those stones at this end. Sun Young Kim.
Yeah, Korea with last stone, but we'll continue to play down the center line here.
넉넉해. 라인 넉넉해. 아홉. C와. 경희와 G와. 까지 와리. 까지 와리. 영미 마커 최대한 가져.
So wanting to stir up that little pocket they had left and trying to get more separation between the yellows they have.
Yeah, that worked pretty well. They're lying 3 and bit of a spread now in those Korean rocks. So Emma here is going to try and recover from that first one and get her team back in the end.
Back 4.
Back 8. It's okay, there's one back here that we can freeze to.
It's going to be a hit, so just get the line right.
Yeah, I'm watching the line, don't worry. It's curling now, needs to curl.
Slowing.
Needs to curl.
Oh, sorry.
Need a piece to slow it down.
That's okay.
Well, Emma's made some good shots today, a couple of nice doubles, but she's been a little heavy on a few of her draws.
Yep, fighting her draw weight a bit to be sure.
넷. 더블 안 나와? 더블 안 나와? 더블 이렇게 나와. 이거부터 맞아야 나와.
So a good chance for the Koreans to perhaps close this game out. They're up 4 and they've got the hammer.
이게 살짝 위에 있어. 그래서 이걸 가리는 게 좋을 것 같아. 넷? 넷까지.
Looking ahead, if Korea does close this game out, they'll advance to the final. They'll face either Former world champion Wang Binyu of China or 2016 world women's silver medalist Satsuki Fujisawa of Japan. That second semifinal will be coming to you live in a few hours, so please rejoin us for that one. But it's going to be a tough final regardless who comes through, Sander.
Yeah, it's worth noting that if China makes it through, that will, if I understand correctly, that will secure the spot for Korea at the World Championship.
That's absolutely right, Sander.
No, I reckon we still freeze
So it'll be interesting to see if the Korean girls, that if they win this game, they'll be coming out to watch the game tonight. Maybe just cheering for China a little bit.
I'm sure they'll be very interested spectators, and yeah, absolutely, they will be very supportive of Wang Binyu.
Yeah, we'd be shot if we rolled, but then I think they'll just try
Not only because that would guarantee their world spot, but also because the only loss that the Koreans have suffered this week has been at the hands of Fujisawa's Japanese team. So no prizes for figuring out who Korea is going to be supporting in that other semi. Divjaranjan.
Yeah, still a couple of ends left here. I'm
Yep.
not going to write off New Zealand just yet.
Well, if they can pull out a deuce here, then stealing 2 and 10 is not beyond the realm.
And you know, New Zealand have won 2 games this week by stealing 2 in the last end.
So are you saying they've just been setting the trap here for Kim Moon-jung?
Oh, I'm just saying it's a trend.
Well, sometimes the trend is your friend. Shot, bro. That's a beauty.
위로. 아니면 아예 이렇게.
Stone's in a very
많이 얇아야 될 것 같다.
annoying position for the Koreans. They can hit it, but they're almost certainly going to jam.
Yeah, and you might ask, why can't you just throw the guards? They're lying too. But
아예 더.
at this point where Korea's 3 up, the only thing they want to make sure of is that they score. So throwing a guard here just complicates things. And if New Zealand pulls off a few good shots, they might still just blast the top here. Even if you spill a few of the yellows, you'll make sure everything is open, and it's just a lot safer way to go about it.
So cautious, high percentage shot choice here for the Koreans. Well, she does pretty well.
Wow.
Oh man, look at that. Korea lies 3 and actually have 5th shot of the back. Look at the action on this one.
She's hit every single stone that's in play.
Pretty much everything in
back
motion
hill.
there. Yeah.
actually freeze. You just played the exact
Watch
I
where
played
these
the
stones
freeze.
go. This back stone hits the New Zealand stone out of the rings. That's a great result for Kim
Yeah, just
Kyung-ae.
play the exact same weight, broski.
Alright. Freeze.
Chiranjan again being asked to play the freeze. It's been a gutsy performance by the Kiwis, and that's a characteristic of New Zealand teams. They always scrap it out.
Maybe a little down for last. Pretty good.
Yep, yep, Holly. Yep, Holly. Whoa, where is it? Close.
Down.
Yep, yep, yep. Okay, whoa, I think it's there. Yep, yep.
Oh,
Yep, hard.
wanting to get it tight.
Yeah, nice shot.
Could have swapped it a wee bit more to get a better freeze, but
아까보다 더 높이
good stone there
까봐.
by Tiv. This New Zealand team from all parts of the country. Chelsea Farley is from New Zealand's largest city, Auckland, member of the Auckland Curling Club. Tiv is also an Aucklander, but as we said, she's a doctor, and so she actually lives in Dunedin now, and we mentioned that Emma and Holly are from Central Otago, so from all parts of the country. Here's Kim Kyung-ae. Oh, nice stone there from Kyung-ae. But stone's behind the tee line now, so maybe a chance for Farley to freeze. Oh, nearly a hip check there. It's turned into an ice hockey game. Picks out the Kiwi stone. Pushes her own stone, though, behind the tee line.
A bit heavy? Yeah.
Pardon?
Oh, even if I give myself a guard, it's not too bad, is it?
God's fine.
Really?
Be exactly the right way.
Yeah, I'll get it 2-8.
Team Kim looking on.
2-8.
The surname of every player and the alternate and the coach on this Korean team is Kim, so
Makes it easy.
makes it easy to sew the jackets.
Graceful.
Makes it hard to figure out which one's yours, of course, but
Actually, maybe a bit less, bro. Yeah.
Go.
here's Chelsea Farley
A little bit less.
asking the ice to be tightened up a bit.
The name Kim apparently, about 22% of the population in Korea has Kim as a surname.
Okay,
Back 4, back 8.
so this team slightly above the national average, but very common surname here in Korea.
Back 4, yeah, back 8.
Has she got any contact? She needs to come to rest on one of these stones, but she's slipping past them all, I'm afraid. Through the hole.
Okay,
That's
it's a practice shot.
Chelsea Farley
one
says
more
it.
shot.
Yeah, it's a practice shot. Okay.
여기 이렇게. 아니면 넣으면 근데 좀.
Say about these New
왜
Zealanders,
이렇게 빼고?
you know, nothing ever really gets them down.
치는 게 낫지 않을까?
It's a good attitude to have.
잘 쓸까?
이렇게 되면.
It's kind of an embarrassment of riches here for the Koreans. Where do you put the
여기
stone that
아니면 아예 사이드.
doesn't make it better for the opponent? 'Cause right now, if you didn't throw the shot at all,
두 개 살려놓고.
the only shot that Chelsea Farley would have would be another shot at that freeze.
타임.
All right, so they're going to call the timeout.
Okay.
Might as well. I mean, no need to make a hasty decision. I agree, though, Hans. You could throw this to the boards and you'd be pretty happy. So just wanting a second opinion. And
난 여기 나쁘지 않은 것 같은데 나는.
이렇게
아,
넣으면
think it's,
근데 여기를 받고 이렇게
just
되면.
showing that they're respecting their opponent here.
너무
Yeah.
뭐 어차피 근데 이렇게 돼도
깊이보다는
어차피 이건 뒤에 이게 다
여기까지
묻었어. 근데 이렇게 됐을 때 얘들이 그냥 커먼라운드 해서 이렇게 프리즈를
프리즈가
해버리면
나오네.
아니면 이게 히트롤로 이렇게 돼버리든지 그럼 내가
안
이걸로
어려우니까.
써먹어야 돼서 그거의 문제. 아니면은 사이드에 넣는 것보다는 어차피 사이드로 뺄 거면 이거 해서 보고 남겨놓고 그 다음에 프리즈 해서 잘못되면 그냥 아예 찢는 게 나을 것 같긴 한데 근데 이런 식으로 프리즈 여기는 뭐 나쁘진 않다.
어차피 저기
얘들이 프리즈가
우리가 먼저 할까?
아예 이쪽으로
During the timeout, the teams are allowed to have their coaches come to the ice surface to contribute to the strategy. So
롤라면 어떻게 되는지 약간
Coach Peter Gallant is going to join them.
Sorry. So what's she have? What shot is she going to play? She's going to try to freeze to the
Freeze,
back one
yes.
or freeze to this one? So the last thing we want to do is guard the middle. We don't want to put one top to 4 foot. So put one on that side of the 4 foot. Maybe full 4 foot. So it's full 4 foot number one. Then she has to corner freeze this one to be number one. Then you can blast it out easily.
그래서 만약에 저기 놔두고 야채
Yeah.
브리즈를 붙이면 우리가 세게 쳤으면 그거를 뺄 수 있는 상황이 되는데 앞에 놔두면 브리즈 잘 붙었으면 우리가 갈 수 있는 방법이 없는 거야.
Do you know how to
여기로
get?
오라고?
Yeah, half in the 4 foot.
반 정도 물게.
아니, 조금
So
더
she has to
밖으로
angle
내려서
freeze and then you can blast it out,
흰색
right, with a
정도에.
peel.
그러니까 저렇게 놨을 때 걔가 앵글 브리즈를
No, too
붙이면
far pancake.
그건 너무 멀고 빨간색 반 정도
Yeah.
물게. 그래서 앵글 브리즈를 붙이면 뒤로 붙이든 옆을 붙이든 우리가 쳐서 그거를 빼낼 수 있는 상황을 만들어야지 센터 쪽에 놔버리면 잘못 붙어보면 우리가 그걸 치기가 힘들어서.
근데 저기 하는데 일로
Peter Gallant from Canada, and so
우리가 빼기가 힘들 것 같은데
Yeah,
저기
you'd be able to blast it through the
Kim
hole.
Min-jung
or blast it.
translating.
아니면 이렇게 위에 이렇게 하던가.
Coach Gallant's advice is to draw one onto the other side of the 4 foot, full into the 4 foot.
이렇게 때리면 이쪽으로 가니까.
He said that would leave New Zealand the corner freeze on those two stones that we see in the rings right now, and then His theory is that if she angle freezes it,
지금 어차피 센터로 저렇게 막을 거 아니고
Jung could
사이드로
just
뺄 거면
throw running weight at it on her last one and blast it and score at least one and maybe more.
그냥 물리게
Well, then again, if you've put this on top of the tee line, full forfeit, New Zealand can freeze onto that and then use those 2 yellows on the side as catchers.
Yep.
완벽하게 프리즈를 해버렸을 때 그러면 우리가 하나는 이기고 있어야 된다 이
I think I'd be
말이지.
tempted
그래서
to just
안
throw it
줘.
away, almost.
Yeah, we did talk a little bit,
흰색
and
끝으로 우리가 가버렸는데
not in a joking way,
뭐지?
that
그게 얘들이
sometimes
완전 완벽하게 붙여버리면은 나는
just throwing it away is actually a better shot. You can actually improve the opponent's situation inadvertently by putting the stone somewhere in the rings.
Tell that to Ben Hebert.
Absolutely.
잘 모르겠긴 해. 거기만 잡아줘.
I was referring to the 2009 World Men's Curling Championship final between Kevin Martin and David Murdoch. Martin chose to throw it away. Didn't pan out so well, but
No. Kim Un-jung, however.
I think it could this time.
Yep.
She'll play the draw though, as instructed by coach Peter Gallant, also the father, of course, of Brett Gallant, who plays second for Team Brad Gushu and is the 2009 World Junior Curling Championship winner, being coached by his father back then.
So, rich curling pedigree in the Gallant family, and so Coach Gallant asked him to draw a full 4-foot. Will it come full 4-foot? Got a piece of it, so that's pretty much exactly where he asked him to go. Would have liked a bit more of the 4-foot, I think. Good weight, though.
Well, I'd be tempted to freeze that stone now, I think.
Yeah, you
Corner
could
freeze that. It's really, really hard to make it perfect, but if you get the perfect angle here, Korea can't hit it without jamming on those 2 yellows on the side, and they'll have to draw the button. New Zealand will also call the timeout.
We need you.
They're putting out an APB for
I reckon 'cause
Coach
if we
Liz
sit it there,
Matthews.
we won't be shot.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Alright,
I
hit
don't
and
even
roll,
think
it's
if
a shot.
if we sit there frozen, we won't even be really that good. I reckon what we have to do is we have to hit and roll, hope
Roll.
for a jam.
Div's talking about a hit,
Okay,
but
we don't need
I'm not so crazy about that.
What ice do you want?
Well, no, we'll wait for Liz and we'll see if she agrees.
But if she disagrees, I still think that's a shot.
No, because it's too easy for them. They'll just straight out.
Well, I guess how do we need a hit then if we're just not
Oh,
going
that's
for the
true.
roll? We just draw it.
Okay, yeah, true. Well, we are going for the roll. It's just.
Well, no, I mean, like, what's the point in hitting when we can straight draw there? It's easy to straight draw than we hit and roll there.
Yeah, that's true. We'll think about it. We'll wait for Liz and see what she thinks.
So Div
Yeah,
has
you're right. I think that might be
come
easier.
to it at the end
like-
that it's easier to
It's
draw
not-
something
not-
somewhere than to try and hit it, roll it somewhere.
No, but see, they don't need to move it far if we do that. Like, whereas if we put it there and they jam it back onto that one, then it could still be.
Charles, we draw here and then hope that if they fuck up the shot, we'll jam. Sorry.
New Zealand
Okay,
must
Liz,
get
what do you think?
3/4 into the
We're
4-foot
thinking the draw to try and
to lie one.
just slightly freeze it.
Just get the tiniest bit of the edge so that.
And then maybe if they hit, we might spiral off into the
To be
8.
fair, we don't even need to be freezing. We just sit it there.
Yeah.
So they hit, then you're just gonna
Freeze it on that one.
Well, the only other
And then
option
it
is
hates
to
away.
try and
Hit
to
and
do a roll off, but
Yeah. Okay.
Liz Matthews.
Freeze. Let's do it. We've done that.
Represented
Tried
New
that a few
Zealand.
times. Half white. Oh, actually, less,
Women's
wasn't
level,
it?
at senior
Little bit
women's
less?
level.
I reckon, but if you play the right way,
Long-time
Oh, yeah,
organizer
true.
and
Yeah,
supporter
that
of junior
looks good then.
curling in New Zealand
Actually,
and
you're
a
right, that
long-time
should be
coach
good.
of this team.
Yeah.
So it's an absolute must that New Zealand lies shot after Chelsea Farley throws this one.
You guys got this. This one's your shot. No, my stabilizer.
Div is putting it into the hands of the sweepers. They need half the 4-foot on an angle in
Good
front of
thing we
those 2
caught it
stones.
quick and
So both teams now have used their timeout, and Chelsea forgot her sliding device. Kamsahamnida, so she's showing off the Korean that she's learned here in Uiseong.
Okay.
There we see it on the
This is
overhead.
my preparation time.
Trying to angle, probably not angle freeze, but sit on an angle very close to those 2 yellow stones on the right-hand side of our picture. Sit on an angle just in front of it. and hope that
Just
Kim
make sure it's
Eun-jung jams trying to remove it.
That's the main thing.
Play here on end number 9. 10 ends to play in this contest. Korea is leading at 7-4. They've got the hammer here in the 9th.
Wait's there.
Weight's all there.
Oh no, I don't like the sound
How
of
heavy
that.
is it?
Pretty good. T.
T. Don't
Slowly.
believe it.
Nah,
Wow.
Sweepers like the weight.
Weight's there.
Might be a little heavier than they want.
I might just slow down a wee bit in the sliding path, though.
Yeah, we've seen them come to rest in a hurry. There have been a couple left short. This one, though, is gliding. They wanted it to stop.
Well, at least it's shot. That's the main thing.
That's true, Chelsea. It is shot, but it is in the
never
open
know
now
what's
for
gonna
Kim Eun-jung.
Sorry, bro. At least it's there, though.
Well, that's true. We have seen
it
open
wide,
misses,
or
but
does
it
it
is
not
pretty
count?
wide open here for Kim Eun-jung. So possibly the final stone of the match coming here. I suspect if the Koreans score
There's
3 or
always gonna
4, the
be, like, a
Kiwis
shot
are likely
for
to
them anyway,
concede
so-
victory.
Yeah.
Yeah, confirming now that if the Koreans were to
세지
score
않은
4,
놈으로
that
갈게. 이쪽이 좀 뻗긴 뻗어 근데.
New Zealand would call it a day.
약간 바깥으로만 맞으면 되긴 돼서.
Still going to make it, however. Here's Kim Eun-jung. Final stone of end number 9. It's pretty good. So, nose hit and a count of 5, and that will clinch the match for Korea. New Zealand offers handshakes. They concede victory. A hard-fought win, a really brave effort from the Kiwis, but 5 points to the Koreans on end number 9, and victory to them by a final score of 12-4. Korea goes on now to the gold medal match. They'll await the winner of the semifinal coming up later on today between Japan and China. New Zealand will go on to the bronze medal match. There we see confirmation of the final score. Korea 12, New Zealand 4.
센터라인 물면서 더 빠지나.
Highlights from the women's semifinal featuring New Zealand versus Korea. Korea has last rock advantage in the first end. Skip Kim Eun-jung has a hit to maybe score 4, but jams the New Zealand stone on top of her own, rolls out herself. Korea scores 2 in the first, but they're thinking they could have had more. In the fourth end, New Zealand skip Chelsea Farley only has the pin to draw to. Throws the out turn. Stone is slightly underswept and comes to rest just short of the forefoot. Had great line, but it comes up short. Korea steals 2, and they go up 5-1 after 4.
So, we're going to get our 2. Then we're only 2.
Now in end number 5, Kim Eun-jung tries to remove the Kiwi stone but jams it. New Zealand lies 1, and so it's an open draw to the 8-foot for Chelsea Farley of New Zealand, a chance to get them back in the game. Farley on her in turn. Comes to rest nicely in the 4-foot. And New Zealand's back in it at this point. They score 2. After the 5th end, it was Korea 5 and New Zealand 3. In the 7th end, New Zealand again having to draw the 4-foot to save 1. Chelsea Farley with the out turn. Holly Thompson, Emma Sutherland desperately trying to drag it into the 4-foot, but it comes up agonizingly short, and Korea steals 1, taking a 7-3 lead after 7.
Good effort there. Good sweep.
New Zealand hanging in though in the 8th end. They've got the hammer, and now they have an opportunity to score 2. Farley has to hit and stick, but the stone hangs out, gets a piece of the Korean stone, but New Zealand loses the shooter. They score 1 and close it up to 7-4.
Steal 2. Steal 2.
Then in the 9th, lots of rocks in play. New Zealand gambling to try and steal the end.
There's always going to be like a...
But here's the situation for Kim Eun-jung. Nose hit, and Korea scores a big counter of 5, and that is the ball game. Korea goes on to the gold medal final, winning this semifinal over New Zealand by a final score of 12-4. And here's the way it's shaping up in the final stages of this Olympic format playoffs. Korea now advances to the gold medal match. They will await the winner of the semifinal coming up soon between China and Japan. New Zealand goes to the bronze medal match, and the winner of the bronze medal match will also qualify for the Olympic qualifying event. So lots to play for here in Uiseong.
That was a solid win for Korea, but what did you think of New Zealand's performance?
오늘도 뭐 확실한 승리였는데 뉴질랜드의 경기를 어떻게 평가해 주실 수 있겠어요?
오늘 전체적으로 샷들이 많이 좋았던 것 같고, 전체적으로 뉴질랜드의 컨디션이 좋았던 것 같고, 그리고 앞쪽에서 프리즈나 이런 프리즈 같은 샷들이 좋아서 저희가 좀 많이 헤맸던 그런 게임이었습니다.
In general, the shots were good and the New Zealand performance was quite good. In the beginning of the game, they had a good free shot, so we had a little difficulty in the beginning.
Now you play, you get to the final, you play the winner of China-Japan. Will you be hoping that China wins to secure your spot at the World Championship, or do you want a revenge game against Japan?
이제 저 결승에 진출하시면은 중국 대 일본전 승자와 대결을 하시게 되는데 중국이 올라와서 그 세계 선수권 자리를 확보하는 걸 원하시는지 아니면은 리벤지 매치를 원하시는지.
좋기는 중국이 올라오는 게 바라고 있긴 한데 뭐 일본이 올라온다고 해서 저희가 게임을 결승전을 안 해도 되는 건 아니기 때문에 뭐 그냥 티켓보다 일본이 올라온다면 티켓보다는 그냥 게임 한 번 더 한다 생각하고 집중해서 할 생각입니다.
To be honest, we are hoping for China to come over so that we can get a ticket to the World Championships. But it doesn't mean that we are not playing any games. So if Japan wins and if we have to compete with Japan, then we're thinking that we're going to have another game.
Now you have the whole day to think about the final game. How do your team prepare for tomorrow morning?
네, 결승에 준비할 수 있는 기간이 이제 하루 있으신데 어떤 식으로 준비를 하실 건지.
일단은 자기 샷에 집중할 수 있는 컨디션을 최대로 높이는 게 중요한 것 같고, 그리고 이때까지 저희가 게임하면서 자신에게 조금씩 부족했던 점들 다시 생각해 보면서 좀 자신감을 높이는 그 시간을 가지는 게 좋을 것 같습니다.
We want to keep up our condition so that we can focus on our own shots, and we will think over what we have missed, like our mistakes, So that way we can keep our confidence for the final games.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So a solid win there for Korea. They're on to the gold medal match. They'll await the winner of the China-Japan semifinal coming up in about 90 minutes. New Zealand is down to the bronze medal match. They'll have a chance to qualify for the Olympic qualifying event. So that's all for this draw. Semifinal 2 coming up shortly, but from Sander Rolvag and the whole production crew here in Uiseong, that's all for this draw. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.